something that is very important today to share with all families and people that have dogs and are going to be gathering together this season. So, holiday and Christmas periods can really create unique circumstances that significantly increase the risk of dog bite incidences inside individual homes. And this isn't about bad dogs. This is about changing the conditions of what's happening around them and where they are. There is so much stress and overstimulation. During the holidays, we expect our dogs to put up with loud noises and to have all this commotion and different people coming in and out, and maybe a tree being brought in. There's lots of things coming and going and happening, and very unpredictable life at that time for dogs. So even dogs who are normally calm dogs can really become overwhelmed when stimulation exceeds their ability to cope. Prevention begins with recognizing when this stress is changing behavior. A stressed dog has a lower threshold, and especially around children. There's a lot of commotion, there's a lot of noise, very confined space. So the dogs might be the level of commotion during the holidays is not normal for dogs. It's not normally so busy. There's not so much close contact. There's not all these different people coming to pat them and to be around them. We may expect them to ignore all these loud noises and these things going on. Dogs often don't get the time during holiday seasons and family gatherings and events. They don't often get the time to decompress. So it can be very difficult for dogs. Oh, sorry. And so planning ahead of time can make a big difference. Making sure that the dog has somewhere, a safe space, an escape, somewhere that they can have their own personal space respected, and permission to opt out if they need to. If they need to get away, help them and let them go when they need to go, and don't expect them to always be social because they may be stressed. Adding a new pet or puppy during the holidays can be very difficult, and it can dramatically increase the risk of a bite. They're a new animal, puppy or dog, is still adjusting to the new environment. We are still getting to learn their triggers, what they may be sensitive or afraid of or unsure of, and they definitely often haven't had a chance yet to learn any kind of house routines very much. So they can become very fearful. They can get overexcited or overstimulated easily. So this adjustment period is when it can be very difficult and most high risk because the behavior is unpredictable. A prevention solution, because we want to try and prevent these things before they happen, before a dog gets put over their limit and their ability to cope with the time, before they're going to bite. We can help them with structure and rest and management and protecting them from overwhelm and exposure to chaos. So we can help them with that. And children in the home, children at Christmas are very, they can be very excited, they can be very animated, and they're often more full of expression during holidays. They're more moving quickly and more emotionally expressive. So often they themselves, children cannot always even read these signals of dogs, and they can't understand when a dog needs space, and they certainly don't know how to predict what might create overwhelm in a dog that would make a dog maybe bite. And at the same time, us adults and humans are often very busy and not supervising in these times because there is so much going on, and you get very distracted. And that is the highest scenario that there is for bites, is because everybody's busy and nobody is sitting and watching the dogs that well. So at all times during the holiday seasons, there should always be supervision and management with the children and the dogs and activities, and separate if needed. It's planning ahead of time can make the biggest difference. Let's prevent those bites this year. Dogs thrive on routine. So think about during the holiday season when everybody's home and there's all this stuff going on, all of a sudden all the routine can change. This is another time that dogs can be stressed out and there is a risk of bites. Higher risk because the dog's time not getting their walks on time and the same regular schedule and routine that they're used to. Maybe they're not eating the same. Definitely the house atmosphere, everybody coming in and out is different, and the rest will be interrupted. And their expectations, what we expect of them, is different than, and it's not the same consistency that they're used to. So this is a time when, there can be a lot of risk of bites because of the stress that the dog can be under. And so when predictability disappears, oh, Jenny's itchy, anxiety can really rise. To prevent this, think about doing your best to maintain these routines and these patterns and making sure your dog has these timeouts when they need them, and this quiet space to get away to. And also, another thing that happens a lot, another risk of this time I got my Ginny showing here, my beautiful little girl. Another reason why there's a lot of risk during holiday time is there can be a lot increased risk for bites because of resource guarding. So there can be a lot of food, there can be a lot of toys or treats going on, and gifts, that are around, and dogs can, and even people, some dogs, especially if you have a new dog, maybe they've never had a person before, so they may be even more a little guarding of people, especially if they're new. And even if they're not new, sometimes the dog is not used to having to share their person most of the year, and all of a sudden at Christmas, there's all these people around. So it's just a great thing to think about, that all of this stuff, for some dogs, all of this going on can trigger resource guarding, and especially in busy or stressful situations and environments. And this is not a dominance issue. This is a stress and security issue for your dog. So to prevent this, we can manage these food and toys. We can take care of dogs a little differently, feed them separately, pick up things more, pick up high valued items of the dogs, just put them away, especially if they've got some favorite chew sticks or bones, even if it's really a favorite toy that they might guard. If you're worried about it a bit, just put them away, keep them safe until it's not such a busy, crazy time. And never allow children near dogs with food or toys. Please monitor and keep an eye on your toys. I wanted to share a little bit about Effy's story because she is a great example. I love sharing and thinking about Effy because when I received my first email from this client about her dog who had bit her grandson, I immediately kind of had this, kind of sick feeling in my stomach, and I'm like, oh my, like as soon as they've got a bite, it's not good. And especially a child. She's a great story of why and how this type of prevention, what I'm talking about here today and what I'm going to share more of tomorrow, is very important, because she is a great example of how we can prevent these kind of things, because we know a bite can not only cause huge damage to a child, it can cost a dog their life. So let's just think about how we can prevent these things from happening this year. And I'm very excited to share that. So I'll tell you a little bit about Effy, because I really wanted to share her story a bit. She was a rescue pup from northern Manitoba, from one of the reserves. She came in with a rescue, and this lady who became my client and has done, very much cared about this dog, all of a sudden had bit her grandson. The dog was very sick when she got her. She was around 8 months, 9 months, or I think 8 months when I first met her. So she was quite young. She'd been quite sick, and had a lot of vet care, had a lot of handling. She was terrified of the world, didn't trust anyone. She was obviously very attached to her mother. When I met her, her owner, she had already definitely was attached to her, but pretty much terrified of everything else. And I worked with her all winter long that year, and I had learned that, sorry, Jenny Jen, I had learned that that she, the, what happened when she had bit this child had to do with Christmas. It had to do with the house all being confined and made smaller spaced for a tree. There was now a taller child running around, and he was busy, and whatever it was, she felt cornered. And I think that's why I do believe that it's something to do with that, the environment, and how much she didn't trust anybody. And all of a sudden he was in her space a lot, and she didn't have her own space, and she didn't know what to do. And so it was not that bad of a bite, but it was enough that it's concerning. Any bite, any thing needs to be paid attention. When they're growling, and watch for subtle signals, because there was possibly some signals that she was very much displaying before this happened. But I'm not sure, because she had a very much fear of, she just froze when things were happening, when she was really scared. So I don't know for sure what signals were happening ahead of time. But anyways, I worked with her all winter that year, and she's a great story. She has come out of her fears. She has never bit anyone. This has been a few years. She's never bit anyone, and she is a wonderful, happy, adjusted dog. She is proof that dogs can be helped when things do happen, but I want to prevent that from happening to anybody this year. So that's why tomorrow I would like you to, anybody, that's watching, please watch tomorrow. I'm going to discuss my dogs in my dog's view episode tomorrow. I will be reviewing, explaining more how we can understand what's going on for a dog, and how to help prevent them from feeling the need that they need to protect themselves, or to guard, or to, be insecure, and help them feel safe, and fulfill their needs during this busy time safely for you and your family. So please, holiday bites are not accidents. They are preventable. They are preventable outcomes of unplanned situations. So let's plan. Planning protects dogs, planning protects children, planning protects families. So watch my episode tomorrow of My Dog's View at Fit Your Dog. Please subscribe to my channel. I like to see that we got that Ginny here. She's helping me do my show. Hey, Jen. She's little dogs. Keeping them busy with sticks today. Chew sticks today, because it is very cold and we have lots of snow. So join me tomorrow. Please subscribe to my channel, and let's make sure we're having a safe Christmas with our family. There we go. Thanks for watching.